Hello guys, it's Giraffe Plays Games. Welcome back to another Flightsim video after a long while gone. Yeah, sorry about that. Life happens, you know. But yeah, we're back here. Long and waiting from our past full flight video. We are down in Quito in the Avianca A320 NEO, where we left off. We're going to be flying this back up to Bogota in I don't know what, in Bolivia? No, not Bolivia. I forgot what country. So let me quickly let you know it is Colombia. My bad. Geography, very good for me. But yeah, let's unmute the sim sounds. We're down in Quito in the FlyByWire experimental today. So we've got working VNav and custom LNav, so should make our flight a lot easier. We're not going to nearly crash into a mountain on our arrival today because we've got VNav handling our descent for us, which is all good and handy. So if we jump into the flight deck, you'll see a lot of things have changed. Updated textures. We've got a fly pad that's been updated to version 3. Yeah, weather radar, terrain radar still are both in up, but there's a lot of changes from the last fly-by-wire video. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our overhead checklists, which I'll show you with the fly pad if I come to it. If we import Simbrief data, I see it's given us our overview of the route, weather, and then all pin charts, checklists, and all that there. If we come here, the RFP page is still the same. It's still the same to fuel and all that, so we'll need to load that. 12% calculator, we don't need to use it anymore since we've got VNav, but it's still nice to have in case we want to do some manual verification. Landing data is still there. Navigraph charts are included so far. Local files aren't included yet just because it's still beta. But yeah, you don't have to log into this every time you start a flight. So this is a nice function, but I use Navigraph charts desktop. This is just a bit annoying to use and it's also a bit glitched. If you see, just if I click on a chart, let's say we're doing ILS localizer for runway 18, it has the following plane on it as well, but as soon as we start zooming in, we lose a bit of clarity. But yeah, not my favorite things to use. Still got the ATC. Failures not yet implemented yet, that's fine. We've got checklists now. We've got lighting presets, which I've got 2 set up just so we don't have to go turn on every screen individually. And with settings, we've got Hoppy's ACARs now installed, which I won't show you just because everybody has a unique ID. Let me know if you do want a video to show how to set up Hoppy's in this aircraft, but there's plenty of others on YouTube, so that's fine. So gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity, we can't check yet, so we'll go through our checklist. Battery 1 and 2 now on. We got ground power available. So what we can do here is turn it on. Bring the aircraft and avionics to life. We'll turn on standby compass, armed emergency lights. We'll turn on the no smoking to on, crew supply on, IRS is to nav. Nav and logo on, and everything else can stay as we don't have fuel. We haven't loaded up fuel yet, so that's not our concern. We don't want to turn them on yet. So this is where I like to use a load preset of normal, of what so those don't come preloaded, you've got to do them, but yeah, as you can see, it turns all the brightness and everything up for me as well, so that's nice. Since we are on VATSIM, we are squawking 2000. Today our call sign is Avianca 8376 or 8376, with the same registration as we flew down here, Papa Romeo Oscar Bravo Mike. So, first thing we can do is come to the fly pad. We want to come to OFP. Our block fuel today is 5.1 tons. We'll round that up to 5.2 because it's 5,159. So we'll come to the ground services. We will, in here, type 5,200, and we will do, I've got fast fuel reloading just because it makes our life easier. Next thing, we want to come to the initiate page. Initiate request. Uplink in progress. And you can see all our details are filled out here. So with our block fuel, we've got 5.2. Like that. If we come to the do menu, to AOC, we will come to initiate data request. Weight and balance, we want to go send. Now load in everything, and then now we want to board passengers. If you're in the back now, we've got environmental sounds in the background, which just adds a step more realism for us. You can print ATIS's weather here, but it also on your fly pad. But for now we're there. We'll come to the flight plan. Out of Quito. Departure. Winds, if we come to our flight pad, are 100. But I think in real life, if I come to flight radar, I believe in real life they are using that's the wrong airport. I think they're using 3.6 for departure in real life. Yeah, real life 3.6. Probably because of operational reasons. I have no idea. But yeah, so yeah, even here it says 3.6, so we'll come 3.6. We are today on the RNOC to Alpha, which is this one. So we'll insert that one, no transition, so we'll just insert. Now you see we've got all our altitude constraints in for VNAV, and we'll put in our flight, we'll put in our arrival once we're closer to our destination. For now, we have loaded our fuel, so seatbelts can come on. Since we're fuel complete, QNH 1027, so we will go 1027. That's 3033 for our American friends. So 3033 or 1027, like that. Constraint VOR 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 airport. We're cruising on the flight level 370 today, so we'll just go straight up to that since we have no ATC today. Right, let me see, let us get our calculations for today. So, let me see if I can get us. No, I can't. That's sad. Discard. Okay. Right, I was going to see if I can show you calculations, but not coming out. So, we are out of Quito today. So it retrieves data for calculation.
Boarding completed.
There you are, that's a new sound, boarding completed. We know that boarding's completed, so now we can fill in our initiate B, 60.1, 60.1 there as well. So that's, we know that's set up fine. We'll come to our OFP. Winds aren't properly implemented, but you see we've got a wind component, average wind component of positive 15. So that's, we're going to put trip wind, that's all the wind you need to do.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight.
Alright, so takeoff weight is 65.1, but I like to round up to the nearest 5, so we'll go 65.5, just for the safety. Config 1 with aircon on.
We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please
that gives us a flex of 54 with flaps 1. V1 161, V2 161, and rotate. So V rotated 161, V2 of 161 as well. All 161 today, so that's all lovely jubbly. So I'm just going to leave it on this page, so remember to set our trim. But for now, we are ready for APU start. So what I like to do, just because they take a bit longer, catering and baggage, we'll get rid of that. We will start the APU, so fuel pumps to the on position, click them in, and now we click APU start, we'll see that rising. So we got toolbar pushback. They've released a new one where you can pre-plan pushback, which is so much better than manually controlling it. Let's just zoom out to the correct distance, which is there. We will want to turn like that. That seems about center. We just click enter and that'll be ready for us to do once we need it. So yeah, I'll wait for the APU to start and then I'll be back. Right, So as you can see, APU is 100% in avail, so what we'll do is we'll come APU bleed on, external power now disconnect, go 1 through of the overhead flow, Gen 1 2 faults, that's for engines, so that's all fine. We want to turn beacons now on since we're about to tell the ground crew we are moving.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
We will request pushback,
This is ground.
and we'll lock the cockpit door, and we'll turn TCAS 2 on, but still standby. To mode Charlie on Vpilot, we can close that now. Otherwise, we're all set here. We just need to start the clock once we start pushback. Right, that's another thing. Make sure your engine master switches are turned off. That's a very good checklist item we forgot. Whoops. We'll just turn them off now.
The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Whoops, I have left this aircraft in a configuration I did not want to leave it in. Well, mistakes are made, it's a flight sim.
We
Who
are
cares?
cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Right, release the brakes. Brakes are released, we'll
Parking
start the
brakes are
clock.
released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
You will start in the sequence.
So, starting number 2.
Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a ramp. All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the aisle top and find the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bag may not inflate, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened. Your seat back is upright, your tray table is stood, and all carrying items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Smoking, food, electronic cigarettes is never allowed on any flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors and access questions is a federal offense and could result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one of them.
But 2 is coming alive. Number 2 is veiled, so we'll come to start number 1.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
There we are. Aircraft
Startup is
is
complete.
low.
You may disconnect.
So,
Roger.
couple
Good engine
things.
start.
Predictive
Cleared
wind
to
shear.
disconnect.
Since
See
we've
you
got now
outside.
nose wheel
Have a good
steering in
flight.
this, we will activate the
Holding
tiller.
position, waiting
As
for
you
the
can see
visual.
now
Thank you and
active.
goodbye.
We will wait for the ground crew to disconnect like that. So, taxi light on. Since it's a bit foggy, I am going to turn on the turn-offs. Waiting for number 1 to come avail. That's number 1 avail. We can turn the ignition switch to off. After that, AP bleed, master switch off. Round spoilers, we can go ahead and arm them, and we'll go flaps 1. Next thing is, I want to set up our trim, so I come to the initiate B page. We've got a center of gravity of 24.6, so we'll just guesstimate it to be around there. That gives us a trim, I think, like up 0.6 is what should it be, up 0.6. Like that. There we are. Cool. We can come to takeoff config. Order brakes. Because I'm using the TCA Airbus, the order brakes are a bit glitched, so I need to turn them on once we're at the runway. But we need to advise the cabin check. There we are. Right, so I'm going to taxi us to the runway, and I'll see you guys there. I don't want to bore you with it. So I'll see you once we're at the end of the runway. Right here, we're here at the holding point Alpha for runway 36. So yeah, this is where we'll get ready for takeoff. So those lights to take off, turn offs already on. Landing lights on, strobes to on. TCAS to TARA. Predictive wind shear is on. Water brakes. Max. Flight brake disengaged. Takeoff memo. Takeoff ECAM memo, which is here. No blue. Is what we want to see. So we will line up onto the runway. Not the best lineup in the world, that is okay. Stop the aircraft here, parking brakes set. We will disengage nose wheel steering, and we are about ready to go. So start the chrono, parking brakes disengaged, bring the engines up to 50% around there, wait for them to stabilized. Man flex 54, SRS and auto thrust is blue. Line ourselves up in the center line a bit. That's 80 knots. Check. That's V1 and rotate. Positive climb, gear up. We will follow the flight director. Like that. Disarm spoilers. The rust climb. Bring the throttles back by 1. It's a pretty boring departure, so we'll chuck in autopilot 1. Remove nose lights, turn off lights. And we're just waiting for speed to bring the flaps up. That's about 200. So we can go ahead and go flaps up, speed check.
$2,500.
There's our radio altimeter, and we are going to be reaching the restriction apparently.
2,500.
There's a radio altimeter, we're going to get that a couple times, flying here. Through the clouds, mountains everywhere.
2,500.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to restrict the landing lights just to reduce as little drag as we can have. go, we've reached speed, so here comes the climb. Brightness of that. And yeah, we've successfully done that restriction. On our climb out of Quito. Well, beautiful views. Well, I am going to leave it here. I'm going to leave you with some nice in-flight views, and then I'll talk to you once we're close to the top of the descent. I'll see you then. Welcome back to the flight deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the views. We have about 15 miles till descent. As you see, I've already put in our winds. They're currently variable at 2, so I just did a tailwind just so we get. It's just so it's within tolerances. QNH 1027, temperature of 10, and our decision height is 8,572. Because we're high up already. So for our arrival, we're on the Abel. I'll let you know. We're on the Abel 1. That's not what it's called. The Abel Lima 1 Lima arrival with the Ambes transition for the ILS 13 right Zulu. We are descending for 10,000 feet. Is interception of the localizer. So about 8, no, not 8 to go. If we go here, we see we've got about 15 to run. Less than 15, so that's being correct. So we've got about 17 minutes till landing, according to this. Let's turn that off. Nothing's useful on there. Oh no, I started the checklist on that, but I've completely forgot, so we'll just leave it for now. One thing I do want to check is our decel point is in, so that's brilliant. Transition level today is flight level 190, so about 18,000 feet below us. Alright, 2.5 to go. We'll get ready to go into manage descent. I'm just going to start it now just because it's going to be high anyway, so started a bit early, won't hurt. We've officially reached it now. There we are, down on our way. There should be an announcement, so I'll leave you to hear that.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
There we are. So now it's just the autopilot managing our descent. I'll show you guys closer to the to landing, just because nothing much to see here. So welcome back everybody again to the flight deck, where we're just passing the waypoint of Silum and then to the Bogota VOR, where we'll start our arrival. So what we'll do is hello. Still too high for that to activate, so you know. Hey ho. It's that. That is a bit of an issue. There we are, it's kicked in now. So now we can click localizer. Did we get
2,500.
68, 185, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna have to call speed brakes to slow this down.
2,500.
Yeah, I knew this was not going to follow this out, this constraint. Right, that's passed. We'll go speed check, flaps 1. it's established on the localizer. So go approach mode, cap to dual. We'll go back into manage speed. Runway is in sight. Don't know what the autopilot's doing, but that's a-okay. Right, we'll activate auto brake slow. We are taking flat free landing just because it's a long runway. We want to vacate as close to the end as possible. That green yo-yo we're not following anymore. We're waiting for the glide slope to kick in. There we are, glide slope is kicked in. Speed brakes. We'll go flaps 2 now. Go around is 10,000. Actually, what is our go around?
2,500.
Go around 11,000. So we'll go 11,000 for go around. We'll call gear down. We will make sure the cabin crew are advised. There we are. And we'll go speed check flaps 3. Still didn't like that, so we'll go again. There we are. And the final approach speed we want it to take us to is 141. Which I'm assuming it won't because it just doesn't like this high altitude. That's fine.
$1,000.
Take manual control of the aircraft. Up, up. There we are. All the way to the end, so we'll see if we can roll out all the way to the end. So landing lights are already turned on, everything else is on. Landing checklist ECAM memo is no blue.
$500.
2 whites, 2 reds, so we're good. We're just coming a bit to the left of the
400.
runway, so we'll come down. A bit high now. There we are.
300. 100 above.
3 reds, 1 white.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
There we are,
5.
flare it. Bit of a hard landing, that's okay. Reverse is coming out. Desal. And we'll disengage everything just because quite a long runway. So high speed exit point of Kilo 5. Since it's a short taxi, we will do APU now. Spoilers should still be out, slowing us down a bit. Yeah. So we're this is really weird. We're parking at the cargo terminal, but where Avianca park as well, at the cargo terminal apparently. There we are. I know officially we're not off the runway, but such a short taxi, we might as well just do everything now, like that. Oh, we are vacating Kilo 7. And we want to take left first. We will turn off the chrono, turn off the flight directors. Looking for stand Echo 5. As you can see, it's cargo terminal, but we're here as well. Oh, we'll take that. Doesn't seem like the spot I want to park at, so we'll take Echo 5 Alpha. Come to the outside view just because it's a bit hard to do with no marshaller. We have a stopping line? No, we don't. Keep going until our wingtips head hit the red line, which is about there. Good. Parking brakes now set. Engines 2, 1 off. Waiting for 10% on the N1, which then means we can do seatbelts. Those are off as well. AP bleed now on. Landing flap 3 is off. Do we have ground services available? Yes, we do. Alright, we'll wait for the ground power to connect. Ground power is connected. Available, and those can come off now. APU bleeds, smart switches off, fuel pumps now off, ADIRSs are now off. There we are. Crew supply can come off as well. That is us down safely parked down to the ground in Bogota. I hopefully you enjoyed this flight. Bit of a shorter video, trying out to see if you guys like the shorter videos. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, if you want the longer videos back, let me know. If you like the shorter videos, let me know as well. Thank you so much for joining me on the trip with Avianca 8376 from Quito to Bogota. See you later. Giraffe Plays Games signing out. See ya.